Championship game is the young St Helens official. We can see Luke Cooley putting boot to ball, and we're up and away here. So welcome to an electrifying evening of Championship Rugby League action here at Odsal Stadium as the Championship takes centre stage after the magic of the Challenge Cup last weekend. The atmosphere and build-up to this one has been buzzing. Both sides inside the top four coming back into the Championship off a strong start to the season. And over the next 80 minutes this evening, every tackle, every try, every moment, we will see, will it be Bradford or Barrow under the floodlights at Odsal? Certainly a large, enthusiastic Odsal crowd. So Barrow with first use of the ball. They're moving the ball just shy of the halfway line. Good defence from the Bulls, early doors here. And it will be boot to ball on the last tackle. And that's clever play there as Barrow turn around the Bulls 12 metres out from their own try line. And that will be a play the ball to the Bradford Bulls, as we say, in a centre field position 12 metres out from this one. So wherever you're joining us this evening, wherever in the world, let's go. And a special shout out and mention to those Barrow fans that are up at Craven Park in the marquee. Hopefully your team will certainly reward you with a positive, strong performance, as we see Bradford now with their first use of the ball. They're moving the ball down the middle channel here. Mitch Shooter's in there at acting half. They're going to move it on that left edge now. Brian Noble, one of those two changes. Sam Hallis there, losing the ball, and there's a little bit of a flare-up in back play. The officials might just have to stop the game here because the players have come together. The touch judge is on the field here, but we are going to play on here. Referee Ryan Cox, oblivious to what was happening in back play, and Barrow, quite rightly, playing to the whistle. So an early error here from the Bulls. It has put themselves under a little bit of self-inflicted pressure as we now see Barrow moving that ball over on that right-hand side. Good defence once again from the Bradford Bulls. They're 20 metres out here, Barrow. They'll move it towards the left of the post as it goes from Johnston to Cresswell on this left-hand side. And that's good defence there from the Bulls. And they find themselves 12 metres out here with a tackle left after this set, although there will be an early kick on tackle number 4 there. That will force Joe Keys to take the safety first option and boot the ball over the dead ball line. And that was a clever kick there from Ryan Johnston, the 26-year-old. He's been at Barrow since 2017. And Barrow, with the early pressure, they have forced a goal line dropout here, with referee Ryan Cox saying it's going to be time off on the clock because Barrow have a player down in front of the posts 10 metres out. So if you are joining us a little bit later, we'll go through the team news while we have a little bit of a pause in play here. Luke Cooley at fullback for Bradford, the wing free quarter line, Jaden Ockenbaugh, Wonga Blake, Kieran Gill, Guy Armitage, the halves of James Meadows and Joe Keys, the forwards Michael Lawrence, Mitch Shooter, Logan Bayliss, Zach Fulton, Matt G, and at loose forward Sam Hallis. And on the interchange bench, Jordan Lilly, James Donaldson, Ronan Michael and Nathan Mason. Emmanuel Wainick called back by Hunslick. He is the 18th man. And from the goal line dropout, immediately setting their stall out here in defence of Bradford with a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm. And already Logan Bayliss, Sam Hallis, Michael Lawrence trying to bring down one of those big Barrow forwards. Out of dummy half, it's going to go from Josh Wood. They're moving on that right-hand side. They're 25 metres out from the Bradford try line as they come back down the middle channel here with Ryan King, the Australian, the Italian international, the former Whitehaven Halifax man. Another quick play of the ball. We'll see Barrow over on that right-hand side inside the Bradford 10. They're on the 5th and last tackle here. It'll be boot to ball. It's going to come off Hallis. It's going to be kicked forward from Johnston. And I think Barrow are going to get another repeat set of 6 here. So right at the start of this game here at Barrowcard Odsal, it is Bradford who are being forced to defend after the kicking game of both Ryan Johnson and Alex Bishop. So clever, instinctive play there. That will please Paul Carey. We know it's certainly going to be an attritional evening here, as we now see a penalty for a high tackle from the goal line dropout, kicked by Luke Cooley. It's in front of the post, 30 metres out. Bradford, there has been a bit of renewed focus about their discipline, no secret. In the game against Salford last week, they had a hefty penalty count against them of 9 penalties to 3, and that's something that Brian Noble has spoken about, trying to get that refreshment, that refocus, as we see Barrow now once again. I think it's Ryan King in possession. They find themselves 15 out underneath the post as a short ball goes towards Johnson to Cresswell. On this left-hand side, they will go. T. Ritson already looking very, very lively. He's yet to touch the ball, but he was just there on the outside, ready to be the grateful recipient, as we see Kevin Rothwell, the 22-year-old Lee Leopards loanee, carry the Raiders 5 away from that Bradford try line, as Bradford have come up with the ball pick, as Barrow have come up with their first error. And Bradford in possession now, moving the ball 12 away from their own try line. Hooley goes in there at acting half, and that'll be Kieran Gill on what is tackle number 2 for the Bradford Bulls. So currently scoreless here at Odsal. Just shy of 5 gone on the clock. It's been a bit of a shaky start by Bradford, but this is much, much better and will please Brian Noble. There's a bit more focus here, a bit more composure. Lawrence 5 shy of halfway. Here's one of the 2 changes for the Bulls. Logan Bayliss, the Australian, the former Brisbane, North Queensland man's brought down. He'll get to his feet, he'll play the ball. On halfway, Joe Keys, boot to ball. Goes long and high. On this main stand side, it will be T. Ritson, the former Barrow man, on loan from St. Helens. An immediate impact from him with his 2 tries in 2 appearances. And that pleasing news, that will please Paul Carey and the Barrow fans, that the Blue and White Knights, the Barrow fans, have contributed financially, and this might be a little bit of a concern here for the Barrow coach Paul Carey, because referee Ryan Cox is going to stop the clock here. Barrow in possession, 20 out from their own line, and they will have to make an early interchange, and it will be Tom Walker, the former Workington Whitehaven man, his second spell at Barrow, a man for all seasons. So that is the HIA, and that was good quick thinking by the Bradford Bulls, Dr. Donald Young. He realised the Barrow player in back play was concussed. He didn't know whether or not it was Friday night or Sunday morning, and very, very safety conscious there, and that will please, of course, the Rugby Football League, who were very, very keen on player safety in 2025. So time back on here. They're on the last tackle of the Raiders. They beat Oldham last round, 20 points to 6. As we see Ryan Johnston sends that one down towards Guy Armitage, and Guy Armitage, he can certainly run. You might have, for those that are joining us live on the stream, we heard from both Brian and Paul pre-match, and both coaches surprised at just how dry Odsal is this evening. Certainly will favour those big, fast edge backline players. So Kevin Rothwell has to leave the field, the Lee Leopard loanee, with the HIA, but Tom Walker comes in. Here's Michael Lawrence for Bradford. They're on halfway here with a tackle left on this set. Suda out a dummy half to Hallis, to Keys, to Fulton. Man of the match in that win against Salford. And here goes Zach Fulton down the middle, moves the ball, promotes it on the left to Keys. Keys is inside the 20. And Bradford on the last tackle, they've just gone 40 metres there on that play. It will be a crossfield kick from Hooley. He's looking for Ockenbaugh. Ockenbaugh palms it back to Blake. Ball holds up, and Wonga Blake will score his first Bradford try, his first championship try, and it is absolutely breathtaking play from the Bradford Bulls. It was on the last tackle. Luke Hooley, he kicked towards Jaden Ockenbaugh, all 6 feet 5 inches, and Ockenbaugh palmed the ball back. Blake had it, 15 out, kicked it into the in-goal area, and what a way to open up your try-scoring account. Wonga Blake, a really, really strong, exciting try, and when you look at Wonga Blake, certainly doesn't look back on 2024 with much fondness and his time at St Helens, but he's certainly a player who has rediscovered his form in 2025, signing to really get the fans excited here at Barrow Odsal. A centre admired for his defensive work, but he also adds that strike, that threat to the edges of a big, imposing, experienced championship side in the Bulls. So Wonga Blake and Jaden Okinbaugh, a match made in heaven. And these dry conditions are only going to cement and benefit that partnership, you feel. So an early try to the Bradford Bulls here at Odsal. 8 minutes gone. Blake did score 2 tries in pre-season for Bradford, but that is his first try, and the 30-year-old grand final winner with Penrith, the Fijian international. And now all eyes are on Luke Cooley on this main stand touchline, who will attempt this conversion attempt. Last week he was 2 from 3. He literally had millimetres to spare, Wonga Blake, when he applied downward pressure, and Hooley, his conversion attempt will be waved away. It will just go to the right-hand side of the near post, and it remains Bradford 4, Barrow 0. And that might just be a little bit of a sucker punch for Paul Carey and the Raiders after their strong, promising start where they forced those 2 goal-line dropouts, but ultimately they came up with those 2 errors and weren't able to capitalise. So we're back underway here via the boot of Ryan Johnston, and he thought he might have just struck gold, but Bradford somehow keeping that one in the field of play over on the far stand side. So we'll see what will happen here. If you're just joining us, Wonga Blake on the highlights reel for 2025, his first try in competitive action for the Bulls on his 8th appearance. And here come Bradford now scampering out of dummy half, and they're already just shy of their own 30-metre line, but much better defensive set here by Barrow. They'll kick early on tackle number 4. One of those Cockney rebels, Joe Keys. Here goes T. Rickson. And T. Rickson flying over on that far stand side. He ran 30-40 metres laterally, and then just a sharpened edge, tried to cut through and pierce past Armitage and Gill, but Armitage and Gill alert to the threat there of T. Rickson. And 2 tackles left on this set here. Barrow just up and over halfway inside the Bradford half here. Once again, Michael Lawrence going through a lot of work with Sam Hallis early doors here. That's tackle 4. Tom Walker, who's come on for Kevin Rothwell, who's in the HIA assessment. And they're on the last Barrow, 40 away from the Bradford line. It will be Ryan Johnston. He will target Guy Armitage, but he's come up with it as Luke Cooley. And the 26-year-old will win a penalty here. It's a penalty apiece. Barrow just guilty of being a little bit sloppy around the ruck. Cooley was wanting to get a quick play the ball in. And that will see the Bulls advance further upfield. Well, Brian Noble, the pre-match debrief from him, relishing the chance to return to championship action following that Challenge Cup exit to Salford last week. He wants his side to focus on that game management, which he feels needs to be better. The passing, the kicking game, it's an area in which he feels needs to be better. Certainly good ball, ability to hurt and punch the opposition with that calm, controlled connectability. And we certainly saw that on the last tackle with that try for Wonga Blake. Here come Bradford now up and over halfway. It will be Keys, 30 away from the Barrow line. Links with Meadows. Meadows to Hooley. Good bit of second phase play from the Bulls. The 15 away now on tackle 4. Barrow backed up inside their own 10 as Meadows, a very sharp pass to Lawrence, and he is brought down 8 away, centre field. They're on the last tackle here. It's going to be Keys, crossfield kick, looking for Gill, looking for Armitage, diffused over on the far stand side. Great play there from Luke Broadbent. And they'll go straight to the 20, they'll tap it, and they will turn defence into attack. And look at that from the Bradford Bulls. It is a 0 tackle. It was diffused in the in-goal area. But no sooner have Barrow tapped the ball on their own 20. It is going to be Luke Broadbent who plays the ball. And it will be Josh Wood in there at acting half, looking for those willing running forwards. Well, Matt G, one of those 11 new faces joining the Bulls in the off-season, involved in that tackle. Here goes Ellis Robson. The Barrow Raiders back row forward, plays the ball, centre field. Cresswell just slips. Two ironic cheers from the Bradford faithful here. 4-0. Johnston moves it along the line, and that now will be the last tackle here for Paul Carey and the Raiders. As we said, they had that round 1 win over Hunslet last round. Probably the win of the season so far against Oldham. Luke Hewlett comes up with the error, but was he taken out? No, the officials will say it. Luke Hewlett has come up with the error there, and it will be a well-earned repeat set of 6 here for the Barrow Raiders. As we said, there's no Brad Walker, so it is Alex Bishop and Ryan Johnston in the halves, and that was clever play there from Ryan Johnston, forcing the error from Luke Hewlett, and Barrow now will have a repeat set of 6. Bradford coming up with their second error of the game. Well, this one bubbling nicely here.
Shot clock off, ball in.
Johnston will take the ball from the scrum. Woods over on that right-hand edge. The Raiders will go. Tight opening, 4-0 the Bulls lead. Another thorough examination of their defence here. As Barrow loses the ball, and that's a coach killer for Paul Carey. That's happened on tackle number 2 there. Barrow a little bit too excited, keeping the ball alive. If it comes off and it pays the dividends, go past go, collect £200. But on that occasion, they've come up with their third error of the evening, and Bradford, through Kieran Gill, recovered possession. So those are coach killers, as I'm sure Brian Noble and Paul Carey will know. Wonga Blake, the try scorer for Bradford, plays the ball 10 shy of halfway. Suter in at dummy half, now to Lawrence, 19th professional season for Michael Lawrence. It all started back in 2007 at Huddersfield when he was a winger. Now he's a seasoned front row forward as Keys kicks on that last tackle.
Good to go.
Ball nearly bobbled right in front of the palms of Luke Broadbent, but he dealt with that one. He'll play the ball 15 away from the Barrow line, and this is now where Paul Carey knows about that enthusiasm, knows all about showing that intent and intensity. He wants his side to go toe-to-toe with the Bradford Bulls this evening to dig deep and put in a performance that they can leave, whatever the score in the 80th minute, deem it as proud.
Still 3.
Big collision here as Barrow keep the ball going here with Josh Wood, and Josh Wood does exceptionally well, the former Salford Wakefield man. Makes a few extra metres over halfway. Here's Ellis Robson once again. Started his career at Widnes. He had a loan spell at Bradford back in 2021, you might remember. Scored a couple of tries in a famous away win against the Broncos at Ealing Trailfinders. High-hanging kick though on the last. The target, Guy Armitage. And Guy Armitage was just thinking there about applying the afterburners, but the 33-year-old former Toulouse man is wrapped up there by the lime green away shirts of the Barrow Raiders, and the game just finding, and you're feeling it's entering a little bit of a rhythm here. Once again, Paul Carey will be pleased at the effort in defence. It is up there from what we saw on the highlight reel against Oldham and Sean Longside in the last round. Bradford though 5 inside the Barrow half of the field. It will be Logan Bayliss who lays it off to Lawrence, and Bradford on the last tackle, 25 out from the Barrow line. They go back to the 30. Keys crossfield kick, looking for Rockinbaugh again, but that's great pressure and perseverance there from T. Rickson. Certainly was under a lot of pressure there from Blake and Rockinbaugh, and the 29-year-old. No secret, he was born in Thailand but then moved to Maryport as a youngster, and he's loved Cumbria ever since. As we said, his first time around at Barrow, 71 appearances, 70 tries. No
Move on against
wonder,
that,
no
hold.
secret that the Super League clubs come calling with such a prolific strike rate.
Oh no!
Bradford doing the job on this set. Barrow 5 shy of the halfway line, just to the right of centre field. Wood moves it on that right-hand side to Bishop. Bishop kicks into space. A little bit of an invitation there for Hooley.
Surrender!
The ball just held up. So bit of pinpoint accuracy there from Alex Bishop, the Australian. He started his career at the Sunshine Coast in the Queensland Cup. It's always interesting when you do your commentary prep to do a little bit of digging on the players. But it is Bradford 4, Barrow 0.
No.
Fiery,
No
tight
advantage game.
and tense
4.
as Fulton, like a man possessed, just coming out of the cage there. And here's one of those changes as Logan Bailiff leaves the field. And that's Ronan Michael there wearing 20, the Ireland international. Spoke to him midweek. He wants to be a real hero, a real advocate for the youngsters in Ireland, picking up the rugby ball.
Stand now! 1. Hold, go 1.
So Barrow back in possession here. Luke Cresswell with the black scrum cap plays the ball. Wood out of acting half, and they've gone high here on Shane Toll.
Come on, I understand it, but you know what happened.
So it will be a penalty here to Barrow. They will find touch over the halfway line, and Bradford have put themselves under a little bit of pressure here. It's the second penalty that they've conceded this evening. And a chance now for the Raiders to put a bit of pressure, force a bit of pressure on the Bradford Bulls. We've just hit the 20-minute mark here, so we've had the first quarter. It's been breathless. It's just been and gone. A real tight affair here under the floodlights as Bishop, as I said, looks for those runners on the edge. Wood in there at acting half to Johnston. Johnston there to Robson. Robson offloads the ball behind to Wood, and Wood takes the line on, and I think Josh Wood will skip past 2 would-be Bradford defenders, and he will score at the left-hand side of the post. And Odsel and this big enthusiastic crowd is shocked here. Josh Wood, the 29-year-old, he scored a try at Craven Park last year when Barrow came back from the dead. It was Bradford 24, Barrow 8, with 16 minutes to go before those late tries and all that late drama. And he certainly loves breaching the Bradford try line. And Josh Wood, the former Salford Wakefield man, he has crossed on what is his 90th appearance for Barrow in his 4th season at the club. And on the 21st minute, just as we enter that second quarter, heading towards half-time,
sorry, mate, on the touchy. Sorry, buddy.
Blake's early score is cancelled out by Josh Wood.
Anything to add, fellas?
So a bit of sloppy defending there.
1 minute.
It's going to be Bishop to take the conversion attempt. Well, as we said, Barrow missing Brad Walker, Aaron Smith, Brett Carter, Andy Bullman. Bradford, as we say there, most exposed they've been, you feel, in 2025. No George Tafu with a hamstring, Tyron up with a cheekbone. Tom Holmes, of course, he's had the pec operation. Franklin Pelly ruled out with a HIA from the Salford game, and Eben Skur still struggling with the leg and the ankle, but should be back for the game against Featherstone. Barrow take the lead here. Alex Bishop pilots that one between the posts, and it's Bradford Bulls 4, Barrow Raiders 6 here at Odsel Stadium under the floodlights.
They're trying to milk everything. That's why they're in the
All right, as long as it's not. All right,
It's the former Whitehaven Keighley man, Alex Bishop. He was 1 from 1 in that win over Oldham. Well, if there was ever any inkling, indication of how tough Bradford are going to have to roll the sleeves up this evening, we've just seen it there on that try. And I'm sure the hundreds, if not thousands of people watching on the live stream on that Barrow Peninsula, they will have been cheering at that one all the way up there in northwest Cumbria. So we're back underway.
Go. 2.
We've just seen Ronan Michael come on for Logan Bayliss. That
Hold,
interchange
hold,
bench
hold.
for both
Go, 2,
sides
good.
will be absolute paramount. As we said, Odsal not
Still
the
2,
widest
watch on the floor.
of playing surfaces. It does
3rd.
constrict everything if it goes down the middle.
Hold.
As we see Charlie Emsley
Hold.
about to come on the field
Go.
here for Paul Carey's side, and this is a good strong
Hold.
set after
Move
points.
Hold.
As we said, Bradford
Hold.
led early
Go.
through the Wonga Blake try. They're going to kick early on tackle number 4. Bishop once again will distill that into touch along the floor between Armitage and Hooley,
Tram.
and that now
Come on
will
in,
be a
boys.
play the ball to the Bradford Bulls.
Michael, just there, mate.
Well,
Wait.
Brian Noble spoke about
Just
the
behind the red
positives
line,
from the
boys, just
Salford
behind the
defeat,
red.
saying that he saw commitment, he saw the attitude from Bradford despite that Challenge Cup exit.
Go.
Lots for Brian Noble to use and harness and build on those positives from that Salford performance.
Move
As we
now.
said, the Bulls head back into championship territory this evening.
Go on.
And Brian Noble, when asked at the press conference this week,
Two.
highlighted that learning
now,
and
big
understanding
hold.
from his side
Diving forward.
to
that's
show and demonstrate improvement from that
Third.
portion
Go,
against
Ryan!
Toulouse 2 weeks ago.
2. Wait. Go 3rd.
Bradford on halfway with Keys
3rd.
to Hooley.
4.
Bradford looking to find their rhythm and fluency here. The trail by 2.
Go 4.
Michael Lawrence now. 10, 15 metres, 25 out from the Barrow line on the last tackle, centre field. They're moving on that short side with Keys. High hanging kick, perfectly weighted. A lot of traffic for Gill and Armitage to navigate,
Hold.
but that was clever play there
Hold.
from Curtis
Surrender,
Tier and Luke Broadbent. Just allowed a little bit of thinking
Surrender!
time. So Barrow back in
Stand
possession,
out!
moving the ball from their own
It's a
try line.
surrender,
Charlie
Alex.
Emsley comes on the field here. So a bit of freshness for
3rd.
Paul Carey's side.
Move. Wait.
And as we said, one interesting stat from that game
Go
on Friday
forward.
with Salford was the fact that Bradford made 59 more tackles than Salford.
4.
And though you might have
Wait.
expected that workload to have taken its
Go
toll,
forward.
Bradford stayed strong and defiant right up until
40.
that Ethan Ryan try 6 minutes from full time. They're looking for a 40-20 here, Barrow. They are going to get the 40-20 if the touch judge says yes, which he does.
No.
And that was clever play there. I think it was Alex Bishop who come up with the kick. And now Bradford under more pressure.
Ryan, it's a tap in. Josh, wait for me, mate. Wait for me. Behind the white line,
Ryan
boys.
Brown, the
Behind.
Salford Red
Back.
Devils youngster, leaves the field. Former Wigan Academy man doing the first 27
Move
minutes
back for
or so
line.
here at Barrowcard Odsal.
Go on.
So we've got 14 minutes to go to half time here. Barrow, a full set of 6 on that
Move
Bradford
out
line after
wide.
that 40-20. Can Bradford's defence hold firm? They're going to try and trouble the scoreboard operator here, but Wonga Blake has forced an error, and now he will turn defence into attack. And I think that's the 3rd time in this first half that Barrow have had possession. They've put Bradford under pressure, and they've just not been able to turn that into points on the scoreboard. It remains Bradford 4, Barrow 6, as Ronan Michael is caught high above the right shoulder blade, and the former Huddersfield Giant York Knights man just gets up unmoved, and Bradford making or wasting no time here in advancing the ball down the field.
Good work, Ryan.
Blake tackle 1. Fulton acting half to Meadows.
2.
Nathan Mason's just come on the field here for Michael Lawrence.
6 again, and no
And
more,
it's a 6
Ryan
again,
King.
a fresh set here as Barrow have just put hands in on the ruck. So what can the Bulls do here? They're down by 2.
Hold.
6 to Barrow, 4 to Bradford. Referee's going to stop the clock here.
Time off.
Matt G
Tackle 1, Ryan.
gets up very, very gingerly here. So the officials will stop the clock, but Paul Carey, well, he said his side arrive here fearless, no
You got Matty.
fear of going to Odsal after that strong showing against one of the championship favourites,
Tackle 1.
Oldham.
Go. Sorry.
Well, Paul Carey highlighted the spirit of the side, and he certainly seen that in effect in abundance so far in this first half. 12 to go to half-time. Suter to Keys, to Meadows, to Hooley. The drift and shift of the Barrow defence. Wrapping up the Castleford low knee. 5 in from touch, 10 away from the line as we see Meadows now to Donaldson. James Donaldson coming on for Sam Hallis. So Brian Noble ringing the changes here. Freshness in the legs as Keys, Meadows to Fulton.
Oh no!
And the Australian, the grandson of Rugby League immortal Bob, gets to his feet, plays the ball. Suter's kick on the last has been spilt by Ronan Michael, who was chasing, putting that kick chase pressure on. And once again, not for the first time this evening, Barrow standing firm in defence. Bradford 4, Barrow 6. Real good intensity to this one, just like we said it would be. Every tackle, every try, every single moment will count this evening.
Shot clock off, ball in.
And as we said, when you look at the head-to-head, since Barrow ended their Odsal Stadium hoodoo and beat Bradford 23-22 here in 2022, they have won 4 of the last 6 meetings with Bradford. And Bradford only picked up that win in the fixture here last year when those early tries from Chester Butler, Jaden Ockenbaugh and Zach Fulton saw Bradford win by 36 points to 24, having to survive the dismissal in the second half of Aribi Doro. And as we've already highlighted, as Barrow find themselves 10 shy of halfway here after that error from Ronan Michael, Barrow picked a point, picked Bradford's pocket in that 24-all draw. Cresswell just slips and keeps possession. Last tackle on halfway, out of dummy half. It will be a kick straight down the touchline. Great play from Hooley, just put the handbrake on. He's caught on the shoulder, say the officials. And that was good kick chase pressure there. But that now will be the referee saying Luke Hooley's moved off the mark. Can this hear a little bit of frustration from this big Odsal crowd, and that will please Paul Carey, because if the home supporters are frustrated, that means his side are doing their job. We've got 10 minutes to go to half-time. It's a try apiece under the lights here at Odsal, the home of the Bradford Bulls since 1934. Here goes Ronan Michael, surging like a spring tide, just shy of the halfway line. Jordan Lilly's just come on the field here for Mitch Suter, so Brian Noble bringing more changes, bringing more freshness and energy to proceedings as Lilly finds Meadows. Meadows high hanging kick, targets Cresswell. Cresswell under pressure there from Donaldson and Lilly, puts his body on the line there, does the 29-year-old. He's been at Barrow since he was 19-year-old back in 2015. A great stalwart, a great servant for the Barrow club, and now it's another penalty here, because Ryan Cox, the young St Helens official, has penalised Bradford for a flop.
Go halfway for his ball.
And Bradford now putting themselves under more pressure. 3 penalties apiece here, as Barrow will lose possession on tackle 1. And look what it means there to Ronan Michael and James Donaldson, the 2 Bradford defenders there who have forced that error. Barrow coming up with what is now their 5th error in this first half. Well, as we said, scrum, head and feed to Bradford just inside the Barrow half of the field.
Let's go.
It's still the team from the peninsula leading. And we've got 8 minutes to go to half-time here. Kieran Gill, Bradford's leading try scorer in each of the last 3 seasons. Lots of tries from the former Salford, Castleford, Newcastle man. Scored last week against Salford, right at the start of the second half. Here goes Nathan Mason, the former Oldham, Batley, Huddersfield man. Quick play the ball, Bradford inside the 20, up in the ante, up in the urgency. Ronan Michael, 10 metres out, left-hand side of the post, the cross with Meadows, but no, the door slammed fairly shut. It is Herculean defence from the Cumbrians. They go back to the 10. Crossfield kick with Keys. Looks to find Ockenbaugh. Ockenbaugh palms the ball back to Blake. Blake's going to be trapped and caught in possession, and that will be
right,
a play
boys,
the
we're
ball and a
10-0.
turnover for Barrow.
You'll play the ball over.
And Paul Carey's side have clearly done their homework here, realising that
line,
Meadows'
boys, red line.
keys, they will look to put pressure on Matt Costello and T. Ritson. That left edge, Barrow attack, right edge defence.
Hold.
And with 7 to go to half time here, it's a real arm wrestle under the floodlights as T. Ritson's wrapped up in centre field. 20 shy of halfway.
Go to.
Out of dummy half now, and they go charging forward here.
Straight out, Zach!
Charlie Emsley, the 24-year-old. Joined Barrow from Millham. And that's what you get with Steve Neal. That's what you get with Paul Carey. You get a lot of local and national knowledge.
Go for.
As we said, Paul Carey, a long-serving head coach of the Barrow club. Barrow, 30 away or so from that Bradford line. They're on the 5th and last tackle. Boot to ball from Johnston. He will target Hooley. Hooley takes that one, but he's taken out in the air, say the officials.
It's in the air.
That will be a relieving penalty here for the Bradford Bulls. As we said, the last 2 games against Toulouse and Salford, there has been that energy, that enthusiasm.
In the air.
But there has been that lack of composure, patience, and game management in certain areas.
If I can't get there, then come on.
2 balls on the field. Controlled restart here by Ryan Cox, the match official in yellow. And, well, Luke Cresswell, a little bit unsportsmanlike there. He's kicked the ball past the Barrow defensive line, so it's gone. Just gives Barrow an extra 10 seconds breather. Not sure that will have too much of an impact on things, but you kind of get a bit of an insight into that Barrow mentality as we see Ronan Michael now. Another 15-metre raid by him. Carries Bradford just inside the Barrow half of the field. It'll be Lilly to Mason.
Oh no!
Nathan Mason, he is brought down 30 away from the line there. The 30-year-old as Bradford shifted on that left-hand side. Tackle 4, 1 left on this set. Can they go into the sheds with the lead? Lilly, straight out of dummy half, twisting, turning, lassoed to the floor like a rag doll on the last tackle. It'll go Donaldson to Michael. Michael reverse pass towards Meadows. Meadows goes a la Aussie rules, looking for Armitage, but that is a superb take there from Curtis Thier, the former Whitehaven man, and he will get to his feet and he'll play the ball 15 away from the Barrow line. And you've just seen there, perhaps not sure what Brian Noble will think of that, a little bit too scattergunnish.
I need you quicker.
Not really sticking to the game plan, but this is sticking to the game plan. Barrow have come up with yet another error, and Bradford are playing on. The whistle hasn't gone, and Ockimbaugh on the 0 tackle. With 5 to go to half time, he'll play the ball 10 metres out. So another Barrow error. Can Bradford capitalise? Meadows 5 metres out, underneath the nose of the post here. Lilly to Keys to Gill, already on 3 tries in 2025. He sees the door slams shut though over on that left-hand edge. They go back towards the 15 in centre field as Joe Keys drops the shoulder and tries to pierce his way past those lime green Barrow defenders. Here's Lilly out of dummy half. Now to Meadows. Meadows to Blake. Blake to Hooley. Hooley, 5 out. Tackle 4, 1 left here for Bradford. They're still down by 2 points. The space on that left edge, and that's where they go with Kieran Gill, who steps in, but it's a penalty in front of the post here. Do Bradford go for 2 points? That would show Barrow and Paul Carey's side a lot of respect here, but credit where it's due. Barrow rolling their sleeves up, they're showing that fearlessness, they're digging deep, and they're certainly doing the best to control and limit Bradford's control of the ruck and the ruck speed. 5 penalties to 3 now in favour of the West Yorkshire side. They will not go for 2. With minutes to go to half-time here. They will have a full set of 6 on the Barrow line.
Hold.
They're looking for their 30th try of the season. Here goes James Donaldson down the middle, but he's gone behind his own man, James Donaldson. Jordan Lilly was just a passenger there, a statue. Nothing really Jordan Lilly could do about that, and Bradford have conceded the penalty. Well, those are court killers, and I'm sure if Brian Noble could reverse time at 30 seconds, I'm almost certain Brian Noble is imploring and telling his team to go for the 2 points there.
Move, Jordan!
Still, a real arm wrestle here under the floodlights at Odsal. Under 3 minutes to go here. It's Bradford 4, Barrow 6. Wonga Blake, Josh Wood, the try scorers. And here come Barrow now inside the Bradford half, but look at that for a tackle from Wonga Blake. All that NRL Super League experience. Putting the big don't argue there. And I think it was Charlie Hemsley.
Move, Ronan!
The 10 inside the Bradford half here. As Ellis Robson will be brought down on the last. The former Bradford loanee will play the ball, and it will be Johnston who will crossfield kick looking for Armitage, and Armitage has lost that ball, but he's faced his own try line here. And the officials are going to rule a knock-on, but it will be against the Barrow Raiders, so it's another error there, but I don't think Paul Carey will be too displeased turning the ball over on what is now a 7th error for the Raiders, a couple of metres out from the Bradford line, so Bradford will have a play the ball. Don't forget Bradford making those 2 changes. Sam Hallis, Logan Bayliss, who started for Franklin Pelly and Bailey Lou. And in this first half, Brian Noble has brought on all 4 interchange players. Lily Donaldson, Michael and Mason.
Charlie! Good now!
Can Bradford strike from deep? There's 90 seconds to go here at Odsal. As we see Nathan Mason up to halfway. Another quick play of the ball. Bradford just generated some rhythm, some speed around the ruck here. Donaldson looking for an opening, looking for a gap. 2 tackles left here for Bradford. They'll play the ball as Fulton finds Lilly. And the ball goes backwards, say the officials, into the arms of Ronan Michael. Michael moves it along the line to Meadows. Meadows to Fulton. It's hot potato stuff there from the Bulls as Fulton gives the ball back to Meadows. Meadows is wrapped up, 5 in from touch, 20 away on that last tackle. Hooley acting half. Keys. Well, it's perfectly weighted if Kieran Gill can get there. But great play there by, I think, Luke Broadbent, the 22-year-old. He's another one of those Cumbrian players that has the distinction of playing for Workington and Whitehaven. His 3rd season at Craven Park. Referee's going to stop the clock here as the hooter sounds. Well, the hooter's gone a little bit too early there. The referee did stop the clock. Barrow will have one last play the ball at the end of this first half. So the hooter has sounded.
We'll play the next play.
And it's certainly going to be a lot of food for thought for Brian Noble. Coming off the back of those back-to-back defeats against Toulouse and Salford. There's a lot of energy and a lot of effort, but the application might be just on the wane. Well, there we go. Half-time here at Barrowcard Odsal. Wherever you are in the world, let's have some fun as Johnston gets the second half underway. 40 minutes to go here under the floodlights at Odsal. And we're about to see a fight back from the Bradford Bulls. Kieran Gill there wriggling on the Odsal playing surface, and they're on halfway in centre field here. The Bradford Bulls, as Nathan Mason gets to his feet, plays the ball. Lily out of dummy half to Donaldson.
Wait.
He'll be brought down.
Go for
5 inside the Barrow half of the field. Here goes Ronan Michael.
5.
And they're on the last tackle here, so it's a good, clean start to second half proceedings as Meadows goes long and high, targets Cresswell. Cresswell does well. Ball bobbled off the chest, but he maintained possession under pressure there from Ockingbar Blake and Fulton and Luke Cresswell. He scored a try against Bradford a couple of seasons ago at Craven Park in a 30 points to 4 win.
Surrender!
He did score
Stand! 3. Wait.
his only try of the season thus far in the championship against Hunslet in round 1.
4. Move!
So there's good intensity to this one right at the start of the second half. Barrow coming down his right-hand edge.
Stand! 5.
And that is good defence from Bradford. But we're going to see another early kick here from Alex Bishop. That one goes straight down the throat of Hewlett. He returns the ball just shy of the Bradford 30. Keys is in there and acting half to Ockenbaugh. And Ockenbaugh on top of 2. Shy of halfway. Bradford will be looking to utilise that speed of the ruck here. And then, as we said, allow the spine of Hewlett, Meadows and Keys to work the magic. Here goes Fulton. Offloads the ball behind everybody. Misses Lily. Donaldson has to recover possession. Gives it towards Keys. Keys with a half chance, half break, but that's good defence there from Luke Broadbent, who wraps up the former Hulkington Rovers and Halifax man. Here goes Ronan Michael down the middle.
5.
We've had 2 minutes gone at the start of this second half. Bradford on the last tackle, their second set of 6. It'll be Lily to Meadows. Meadows once again goes the aerial route, finds Ockenbaugh. Ockenbaugh back to Blake. Blake kicks it off the Barrow defender, and then it's an error there from the Bradford Bulls on the last tackle, and that is going to be a changeover in possession. I'm not quite sure what Zach Fulton knew about that one, but once again, it is looking a little bit slapdash at times from the Bradford Bulls. Certainly the message pre-match from Brian Noble was all about focusing on that game management, that passing game, that kicking game. Bradford still in this one, and we might be going the distance this evening under the floodlights. We've had 4 minutes gone at the start of this second half. Barrow coming down the middle, big strong carry there from Charlie Emsley. Rolled over on his back. They'll get to the feet, they'll play the ball. Out of dummy half to Jamie Pike.
5. Oh no!
For low knees.
Wait.
Former England Academy International will play the ball. And that will be Johnston once again. A high hanging kick. Hewlett takes that one, turns defence into attack, and Hewlett was very, very nearly away here. He's held in the tackle. The officials playing an advantage as it goes from Blake to Meadows to Ockenbaugh, and Ockenbaugh just starts to flex the legs, and Bradford starting to open Barrow up here, and that is absolutely criminal here. Ockenbaugh's played the ball, there's no one there at acting half. And that is just a real horror show from Bradford. You do all that hard work, all that good work, and then you play the ball and there's nobody behind you. Well, that will not please Brian Noble. It is the second error right at the start of this second half. And that now means it's 6 errors to Bradford. As we see Barrow now.
4.
Come 20 metres out from the Bradford line. Wood to Bishop to Pye.
5.
Jamie Pye.
Oh no, Luke, give me a step!
Had a trial at Bradford back in 23 under Mark Dunning. They're on the last tackle, Barrow. They're going to run it on the power play. Will we see boot to ball? We won't see boot to ball. We'll see a pass on the inside. Bradford recover possession. Barrow trying to force the Bradford man in goal. The referee will say play the ball a metre out. Oh, this is ferocious stuff here. And Barrow now winning the collision, trying to force the Bradford man in goal, which they will do here. Guy Armitage has been trapped in goal. And the errors just starting to mount up here against Brian Noble and the Bulls. It's a third goal line dropout that the Raiders have forced on the Bulls. We'll see what happens here on this play. Because here come Barrow. Coming right down the middle channel here. They lead by 6 points to 4.
Right side, get back!
A thrilling fixture from the Championship here at Odsal. If they could get an early try right at the start of the second half, that really would put the cat with the pigeons. Wood out a dummy half to Bishop, to Johnston, to Cresswell. But it's very, very resolute Bradford Bulls defence. 5 metres out from that line. They try and muscle the way over down the middle. They're on the last tackle here. Barrow boots a ball from Johnston. Cresswell recovers possession. They go towards the corner. It goes into the in-goal area. Hooley boots a ball safety first because Cresswell was looking to dive on that loose ball, and it's another goal line dropout that the Raiders have forced on the Bulls. And at what point in this game do you start thinking about those 2 tough attritional games against Toulouse and what happened last week against Salford? Barrow, as we know, they've had the last fortnight off. They will be the fresher of the 2 sides, but take nothing away from Barrow. This has been nothing short of a real workmanlike performance, doing the simple, basic things right. Although we've just put a bit of a commentator's curse on here, as Jamie Pye's gone without the ball there on tackle 3, and now Luke Hooley has been held down there in the tackle. Luke Hooley wants to get a quick kick to touch. It's a booming kick from Luke Hooley. Look at that one. That's moved Bradford nearly 60 metres down the field, and Bradford now know they're in a real mixer of a game here against their Cumbrian rivals. We've had 8 minutes gone at the start of the second half. It's still the try from Josh Wood, the difference. Here goes Donaldson. Finds the support on the inside of Hooley. Hooley fronts up there by Pye. Underneath the post here. Lilly out of dummy half to Meadows. Meadows to Okinbaugh. Okinbaugh's over. Okinbaugh's in. Jaden Okinbaugh 2. Ball's on the line. The officials say try. And Bradford do cut Barrow up. And they've gone on the right edge again. Wonga Blake in the first half, Okinbaugh in the second. It's the former Canterbury Bulldogs' second try of the season. It was Lilly to Meadows. Meadows to Blake. I think Blake actually just touched it on. It was just like a little bit of a paddle pass there from Blake to Okinbaugh. We'll see clear on the replay, but Meadows, yeah, Wonga Blake with a try assist to Okinbaugh. Well, he's returned the favour of the first half. Well, Ryan Johnston absolutely furious that that try has been given, but you can just see the ball hitting the Barrow line, and that's a crucial try in the scheme of things, because it has been all Barrow right at the start of this second half. Well, it's his 3rd game back from injury. He's got an experience as Jaden Okinbaugh. We're in the 50th minute here. Jordan Lilly has taken over the goal kicking, and that one waved away. So Bradford Bulls 8, Barrow 6, 50 gone on the clock. There's 30 minutes to go in this one. Just see the footwork there, creating a little bit of doubt in that Barrow defensive line. Wonga Blake to Okinbaugh. Well, there's Luke Cresswell, Ben Johnson, a lot of lime green shirted players around that try who might be a little bit frustrated when they watch that one back.
Move, Ryan!
So Lily and Hooley not able to convert the tries to Blake and Ockingbaugh.
2.
And Bradford now
Hold, go to. He's
up to halfway on the restart. And look at this from Wonga Blake, the Fijian international, featured for Fiji in 2 World Cups.
Wait. Hold, go 3. No, he's good.
And he'll have an eye on potentially featuring for Fiji in the World Cup in Australia next year.
Hold.
Well, if Bradford could go back-to-back here, that might just knock a little bit of stuffing out of the sails of the Barrow Raiders as Matty G is wrapped up here on the last tackle. So Bradford on the restart, the 20 metres away from the line as Keys will just pump one up here, looking for Armitage and Gill. Targets Cresswell. Cresswell takes that one from the evening sky, and he's immediately wrapped up there by Keys, who put boot to ball, Lily, and of course Guy Armitage.
2. Move, Michael! Hold!
Bradford 8, Barrow 6. As we've already said, the fixtures this round tomorrow evening: South of France, Toulouse, Sylvan Houlays against Hunslet. Dean Muir's side, they've just recently signed Lee Gaskell this week in a big money move. And then on Sunday, well, what a game that is at Mount Pleasant. Batley against York.
Oh no! Hold.
Oldham against London's quite tasty as well. And then, if you're still struggling for action to go watch, Halifax against Featherstone at the Share. And I tell you what, the one that we haven't spoken about could equally be as tight and tense. Doncaster at the Keepmoat hosting Alan Coleman's Widnes Vikings, who pushed Warrington all the way. Well, Bradford have the ball, 10 away from the line after that kick there from Bishop. And look at this from Barrow now, forcing Bradford back against that gain line. So Ockingbaugh will play it on 1.
2.
Gill tackle 2. Josh Wood in defence there for the Cumbrians. Here goes Donaldson up to the 20-metre line, centre field. Lily's in there and acting half. Here goes Ronan Michael, the former Huddersfield York man. 65 appearances for York, 5 tries during his 3 seasons. As we've just seen a kick on tackle 4 dealt with there by Barrow, and they now turn defence into attack. Wood goes out a dummy half. Gill in defence for the Bulls alongside Michael Lawrence. And it's Kieran Gill and Michael Lawrence who forced the error there. Well, he's appealing for a penalty there, the Barrow man. Ryan King just comes in, picks him up and gives him a pat on the back.
Shot clock on.
Well, a penny for those supporters fought here at Odsal.
We're really knock on.
As we see, you've got Lily, Lawrence, Gill in defence, and it's just a loose carry. Jordan Lily straight
we're on the shot clock, remember, come on.
To the officials. 9 fair now in this game from the Raiders. It is a scrum on halfway to the Bradford Bulls. As we said, it's not been pretty by any imagination. Paul Carey has completed 10 years in charge of Barrow in his second stint as Bradford lose the ball on tackle 1 from the scrum. Well, just when we mention a side up in the completion rate, that composure and patience, and the buzzword at the minute from Brian Noble, connectability, we see Guy Armitage going into that Barrow defensive line.
Just this side of me, boys, please.
And he'll be a little bit disappointed there, Guy Armitage, that he didn't respect that ball.
10 fellas.
And no sooner have Barrow come up with the error, Bradford equally come up with the error.
Zach, come on. What's that? Sorry, Alex. Shot clock off.
So Bradford 6. Sorry, Bradford 8, Barrow 6 here.
Jordan,
and it's a penalty to Barrow.
It's contact with the head, Matty.
Referee Ryan Cox saying a high tackle. The young St Helens official.
Thanks, mate.
3rd Bradford game of 2025. Bradford have won both. His last game was in round 2 against Hunslet.
1. Move now! Hold.
His last Barrow game was last season at the Share. So what can Paul Carey's side do here? We're heading towards the hour mark here, and it is still 8 points to 6 as we see Creswell to Broadbent. Broadbent heading towards touch here. Keys and Gill drag Luke Broadbent, the former Workington Whitehaven man. A lot of youthful exuberance from Luke Broadbent, but he's been dragged over the touchline, and that has got this large, enthusiastic Bradford crowd beating the drum, making some noise. And you've just seen the spirit there, the togetherness of that Bradford side. Well marshalled. They are not allowing Luke Broadbent an inch. But what can Bradford do here? Ball's been turned over by the Raiders. 10 away from their own line. This is where Bradford just need to be patient. That composure. Not try and rush and force things. As I'm sure the message will be coming on from Brian Noble and Lee Greenwood through Keith Senior, who's down there on the touchline.
Third. Move now!
Just that try to Jaden Ockenbaugh, the difference in this second half. But there's a break now from Hooley, up and over halfway. Hooley goes past Creswell. He's still going, is Luke Hooley. And the former Bradford man on loan from Castleford gets a quick play the ball in inside the 20. Meadows takes the line on, and they're on the last tackle, Bradford. Another quick play the ball. It goes out wide towards Keys. Keys towards the corner. Wonga Blake just couldn't maintain possession over the dead ball line. It's gone dead in goal. And we've just seen what Luke Hooley brings to this Bradford Bulls side. You saw it in the game against Salford last Friday, that electric, pacey running game, the ability to cause havoc with the opposition defence. And a major loan coup for Brian Noble and the Bulls, who acted quickly with the injury news that Tom Holmes is going to be out for around 3 to 4 months. And as we've just seen there, Luke Hooley certainly can create magic out of nothing. But on that occasion, Ockenbaugh and Blake, who were chasing up the kick to Keys, not able to ground it in the in goal. But Barrow now, an extra tackle on this set. The 10 inside the Bradford half of the field. This is where that tiredness, that fatigue, it's been a real intense, tight, close game here. Points at a premium once again at Odsall. Wood out of dummy half. Along the line they will go to Creswell.
Surrender.
Cresswell's going to be wrapped up there. T. Ritson was calling for it. Bradford have kept T. Ritson quiet. One of Barrow's prolific leading try scorers. They're on the last tackle here. Goes to Cresswell into the in-goal area, and Barrow will come up with the ball, and it's Ben Johnston, I do believe. Try given, and Barrow will retake the lead here. Ben Johnston, he has chased up the kick. Ryan Johnston apologies, and Ryan Johnston, third try of the season. And that has just come out of nothing there. It was on the power play from the Raiders. It was Luke Cresswell's kick. A Bradford player stumbled and fallen over. I think it's Luke Hooley. Not sure Hooley could have got there. But look at that awareness there. Look at the conviction. Look at the execution. Clinical play. Well, we called him Ben. His name's Ryan. But it's Johnston who potentially stamps his mark on proceedings here. Barrow 10, Bradford 8. We've just hit the 60th minute here. Bradford trailing again in this game. And Alex Bishop,
we know where the challenge is in the game,
will attempt the conversion attempt to the left-hand side of the post here. Well, Ryan Johnston, the 26-year-old, big job to do. Focused on steering Barrow around the constraints of a tight Odsall playing surface in the absence of Brad Walker. And what can Bishop do here? He will add on an extra 2 points for the Cumbrians. We've got 20 minutes to go here. It is Bradford 8, Barrow 12. And what now does Brian Noble and the Bradford Bulls have in the tank? They had a strong start to 2025 despite those back-to-back defeats. There was a strong response against Salford after that heavy loss in the south of France in round 3. Brian wanted his side to improve on that Salford game. Well, there has been a little bit of that, but I think if we're being brutally honest, you've got to say it's probably maybe a footstep back. But Wood and Johnston, the try scorers for the Raiders. Bishop 2 from 2. Bradford now have to chase the game once again. They're down by 4 here, and Barrow on that restart have lost the ball, and it's a free play here for Bradford, and it's Donaldson to Keys, Keys to Gill. This will be the 0 tackle here for Bradford, and we've got 18 minutes to go here. Can Bradford immediately hit and strike back as Michael Lawrence looking for his first try in Bradford colours since the end of 23. Ronan Michael now tries to punch a hole past this resolute Barrow defence. They're underneath the post here. It's going to go Lilly to Meadows. Did he go behind the Bradford man? The officials say play Horner, and the former London Batley man's wrapped up there on tackle 4. 1 to go here for Brian Noble's Bulls. Keys takes the line on himself, sharp shoots, but he's brought down there. Well, there might have been a set restart because the tackle count continuing here with Matty G, who tries to go over from dummy half. And Bradford, they're as close as they can be from getting themselves back in this game. It'll be Keys along the line to Meadows. Meadows to Lilly. Lilly into the in-goal area, chasing his own kick. Barrow back. They force the ball dead. Good kick chase pressure from Wonga Blake there on T. Ritson, and that will be Bradford's second goal line dropout of the evening. We've had 6 in total. It is now 4-2. Lilly's kick there, trapping T. Ritson over the dead ball line. Well, it's around about this time we start thinking about a man of the match, and with this game being streamed, there's a lot of Barrow players in contention, let me tell you. 20 out though, Bradford. Matty G towards Kieran Gill. Kieran Gill back to G. G was looking for Lilly. He was just behind him, but he's wrapped up there. Good defence once again from the Raiders. Lilly now towards Keys, to Meadows, to Hooley, to Blake. Blake is caught high, say the officials, by Ryan Johnson, and Ryan Johnston penalised there. That will be Bradford's 7th penalty of this game.
You're offside, Ryan.
Well, the error count for both sides is heading towards double digits. What have the Bulls got in the bag here? It'll be Donaldson twisting, turning. 5 Barrow defenders, Cresswell, Wood, also Ryan King, bringing down the Bradford loose forward as Kieran Gill tries to get the ball down. Kieran Gill, well, he's got the ball down eventually, but the try's going to be disallowed for crossing. And another decision here made by the officials. This time it favours Barrow. Barrow also having a try in the first half, disallowed for crossing. Michael Lawrence has just made contact there with Josh Wood. And I think it's Matty G. Just saw it out of the corner on the replay there. I think it was Matty G who impeded that Barrow goal line defence. Well, we're coming into the final moments of this game. There's 15 to go. We're going to see the immortal strap line. We're going the distance this evening here at Barrowcard Hudsall. Just like Barrow did in round 3 against Oldham, and Bradford did last week against Salford in the Challenge Cup. Paul Carey will be absolutely proud of his side's performance this evening. And I think whatever happens here, Barrow certainly on the opening rounds of the Championship of 25 variety. You certainly don't feel for the 3rd season in a row they're going to be surviving on the last day by a point. Last tackle here. Bishop, boot to ball. Hooley does well. A lot of hang time there in the air from Alex Bishop's kick. Cresswell all chasing on that left edge with T. Ritson. I guess that will please Brian Noble. They have kept the St Helens low knee a little bit quiet this evening. But as we said, two big packs on shore here. And that's without Franklin Pelly and Eben Skur featuring. Kieran Gill plays the ball. Suter back on for the final 15 minutes. You've got to ask, what have both sides got left in the tank here? As Lily on the last tackle looks up, kicks straight down to T. Ritson. Here goes the 29-year-old.
Surrender!
Born in Thailand, moved to Maryport
Hold that, hold.
at a young age.
Two. Move!
Barrow, as we said,
Go to.
last season lost here at Odsall. Previous 2 seasons picked up wins.
Move! Hold.
Bradford just one win in the last 6 meetings. If Barrow win this, it'll be one win in
Surrender!
7. Oh, there's an injury here to Maddie G. Maddie G's holding the arm. That looks a serious one. Yeah, Maddie G's coming straight over towards the touchline. Barrow are on the last tackle. They will put boot to ball as Johnston drills it along the floor. Hooley shifts across. Maddie G's saying he needs to come off the field. And the message from Keith Senior is going to be to bring on Sam Haller. So it does look like Maddie G might not be taking any further part in this game for Bradford, as we see Armitage play the ball just shy of halfway. Here goes Ockenbaugh, and Jaden Ockenbaugh, the former Canterbury Bulldog, he's brought down after a 20-metre run, surging down the middle. We've got 12 to go here. Bradford down by 4. Lawrence fronts up. The interchange comes in. So I think Matty G, he might be done for the rest of the evening here, as we see Joe Keys now looking to create something, but he's just a one-man band, is Joe Keys. He's going to do it all himself. That takes him out of the picture as he plays the ball on the last, so it'll be Hallis to Lily. Lily dabs one looking for Blake and Ockenbaugh, and that's a penalty to Barrow. Silly play there from Wonga Blake, because you could quite clearly see T. Ritson's feet had not hit terra firma, and that is all about that composure. Bradford lacking that composure this evening, and that is playing right into the Barrow Raiders' hands. 7 penalties apiece now.
Move back!
And when you're down, you're behind on the scoreboard, the last thing after a strong attacking set that you want to be doing is coming up with a dumb play like that and taking or touching T. Ritson whilst both feet are airborne. 11 to go. Bradford 8, Barrow 12. Oh, if I had a TARDIS, I'd jump straight into the marquee up in Cumbria. See what the mood's like up there at Craven Park. I'm sure those who are watching this on the stream at the viewing party there will be absolutely going bananas. They've certainly had the money's worth this evening. They're on the last tackle once again, the Raiders. Bishop to Johnston. Johnston once again. Oh, they've let the ball bounce the balls, and Cresswell will score! And it's Luke Cresswell, right place, right time. And this is going to be another famous Barrow win against the Bradford Bulls. It's come off the back of yet another Bradford Bulls error. And Luke Cresswell, the 29-year-old, he has been at Barrow since he was 19 years of age. 30 appearances, 10 tries last year. Will he score a more important try in 2025? Jaden Ockenbaugh just let the ball bounce in front of him. Oh, it's a criminal error, because once you let the ball bounce, it's a lottery, and it was Luke Cresswell. Well, he was at the mini market up there in Barrow, putting the 5 numbers and the bonus ball on, and he has come up with a real sucker punch against Brian Noble's Bradford Bulls this evening. We've got 10 minutes to go on the clock, and Bradford are staring down the barrels of a 3rd consecutive defeat. And it does not get any easier for Brian Noble's side. A trip to Post Office Road, where they'll face Featherstone Rovers next Sunday. Barrow will go top of the table this evening. How about that? Well, they'll certainly stay top until Halifax host Featherstone on Sunday afternoon. Alex Bishop converts. Bradford 8, Barrow 18. There's boos and jeers reverberating around Odsal. And it's those 12 unanswered points via the tries from Johnston and Cresswell. Bradford have gone short here on the restart. They will get the ball back, the Bradford Bulls, but no sooner have they got the ball back, they've knocked it on, but it did come off a Barrow hand first. So a double knock on given by the officials.
Stay in that formation then, boys.
We have
Stay in that formation.
Just over 8 minutes to go here. Can you describe this as a championship shock? Certainly Barrow playing here this evening with that same spirit, that same intensity, the effort, the enthusiasm, the resolve, the grit. Bradford, though, not about to surrender their 8-game Odsal record. They've not suffered defeat in their last 8 games here. As Lilly now to Hooley. Hooley's 5 away from the Barrow line. Bradford need a try right this moment. As Gill goes in there and acting half. Bullock pass there to Lilly, to Michael. Keys with some magic to Blake. Blake towards the corner. Barrow tried to take the former NRL centre over the touchline, but he puts the handbrake on. He'll face the line, play the ball. Lilly now to Hooley. Sweeping move here from the Bulls. Gill has had the ball stolen. 2 Barrow players there. It was Broadbent. Cresswell also involved in that one. So too Bishop. 8 penalties to 7. And I'm going to make a big bold call here. The game's on the line here for Bradford. They have to score on this set, you feel. Referee will stop the clock. Barrow have Alex Bishop down, receiving a little bit of medical treatment. Well, Matty G back out there on the field. So he has got the all clear from the Bradford medical side, and we can just see Alex Bishop there getting patched up. Well, you've got to say the goal kicking could be the difference. Lilly not able to convert the tries to Blake and Ockenbaugh, whereas Alex Bishop has gone from free. Well, this is part of the game now where the game is firmly on the line. There's just over 6 minutes to go, and Brian Noble will be calling on those senior spine players, despite not playing in the side, but certainly those who lead and have that influence. They have the leadership. Well, we're still waiting for Alex Bishop to get the blood and the claret off the forehead. Another fresh set of 6 for Bradford on this Barrow line. It will be Matt G, tackle 1. Can Bradford give themselves a lifeline here? The 5 away from the Barrow line as Hallis takes the line on. He's one of those enthusiastic leaders. But the man has the door slammed shut. Underneath the Barrow post here. It's very, very slow, very pedestrian, very sloppy. Keys now to Blake, who stepped back on the inside. And Wonga Blake is wrapped up just to the right of the post, 8 metres out. Suda out a dummy half, ball's gone to ground. And that just about sums up Bradford's evening. Logan Bayliss not able to take the pass there from his fellow Australian. Bradford now. That is error number 11 of the evening, and that probably could be one of Bradford's last chances this evening. Well, the players just getting a little bit frustrated. They come together.
Michael.
Well, this certainly is going to be a defeat if it stands.
bad. 75 minutes.
I don't think Brian Noble will panic, but certainly when you are looking for that fluency and execution, there will be focus on James Meadows and Joe Keys. No Eben Skir, no Franklin Pellet. But you've got to say, Bradford, they have found themselves in good ball territory, good ball positions. They've just not been able to execute and turn that pressure into points on the board, whereas Barrow have. So 5 to go here at Odsal. Very, very difficult to say. A man of the match wearing the red, amber and black. As we said, Sam Hallas is always a very, very enthusiastic player. Whether starting or coming off the bench, she does bring that energy.
Hold.
Bradford need that ball because there's 4 minutes to go here and they are down by 10 points. Double-digit lead here.
Third.
Both tries in this second half from Barrow coming off kicks. Johnston and Cresswell.
No. 4.
Well, it will be interesting to get the thoughts of Brian Noble post-match. He's down there pitch side. Does not look a happy bunny. Barrow just need that game management, that patience. Keep hold of possession. And there'll be no way back for Bradford. They're on the last tackle. Johnston under pressure from Hallas. Kick straight down the throat of Ockimbaugh. Is there to be late drama here at Bardacard Odsal?
Hold! Go on.
We've got 3 to go. The clock and scoreboard now becoming the real enemy for the Bradford Bulls. What can they do here? Look at this tenacious defence from Barrow. Really rolling their sleeves up, digging in here. Not allowing Bradford an inch. Lilly finds Hallas. Hallas goes down the middle. More groans from the Odsal faithful. They're inside the 20 with Keys. Keys kicks into space. Barrow concede their third goal line dropout. That will take 30 seconds off the clock. Luke Cresswell alert to the kick there from Keys. And you're almost getting into territory now where if Bradford were to get a try, their third of the evening, there'd still be too much work to do.
I'll tell you when you've got 10 seconds.
We've seen one of those rare kicks there from Joe Keys.
I'll tell you when you've got 10
Kicks into the in-goal area. Good kick chase pressure there from Gill. Keys chasing it himself. Joe Keys deals with the goal line dropout and it goes down the middle here from Lawrence. Well, are Bradford about to suffer their third straight defeat? Logan Bayliss, energy at the 11th hour. Bradford certainly not waving that right flag. Don't go anywhere. Here goes Keys. Gives the ball to Gill. Gill to Armitage. Armitage heading in towards touch, but he's just in the field of play. Great defence there from Curtis Tier and Luke Broadbent. Gill in an acting half to Keys, to Lawrence, to Lilly. The game on the line. Bradford need a try. Goes from Blake to Ockimbaugh. T. Rickson comes across with Matt Costello. And Ockimbaugh will be forced to play the ball on tackle 4. 5 away. There's 90 seconds left on this clock. Hallas fronts up, but it's very one-dimensional, very static play. And Hallas has lost the ball. A 12th error by the Bradford Bulls. And it just gets a little bit heated there. It was Jared Stack who just gave Sam Hallas a little bit of pat on the back.
On the line. All right, okay.
And it is going to be Barrow Raiders who start the season 3 wins from 4. Barrow, they will go to the top of the table this evening. And just when you talk about effort there, Jared Stack wraps Hallas up, drags him to the floor, the ball comes loose on contact. Well, we mentioned about that team spirit, the grit, the resolve. Oh boy. Not a truer word spoken than when you talk about the attitude and the application. You know, Barrow this evening, they've got their heads down. They've worked harder than the Bulls. and they are thoroughly deserving of this win. There's just moments left in this game here at Barrow as we head towards the full-time hooter. We're in the final minute of this game. How big will the increst be by Brian Noble? Well, Bradford have just hit that self-destruct button now. Logan Bayliss going high. Referee Ryan Cox not happy that the kick to touch has been taken from the correct spot. 8 penalties apiece, the penalty count, unfortunately. Bradford coming up with those 12 errors. That will be the frustrating stat, the frustrating facet that Brian Noble focuses on. I do feel probably puts Bradford's completion rate in around 70, perhaps the high 60s. Simply not good enough at this level. But take nothing away from Barrow. They too have come up with a number of errors, but they have just showed that smartness, that composure when it mattered in this second half. Can they finish with a flourish? There's just 20 seconds or so left on the clock here. Pye runs the ball in, and he is brought down 15 away from the line. Well, more points here for the Raiders would certainly inflict a bit more pain on the Bulls, but the inquest will have to start for Brian Noble because they've got all weekend before that trip to Featherstone, which will not be easy. Charlie Emsley in front of the post. Barrow on the cusp of yet another famous victory. Do they perhaps go for the one-pointer? Cresswell in front of the post, left-footed between the post, and that one has gone between the post. And Barrow win here by 19 points to 8. Full time, no time for the restart.